Kick it off every Tuesday with a look at the best bets. And, of course, it's brought to you by PropSwap, where America buys and sells sports bets. Go to PropSwap.com, America's sports betting marketplace. Sell your sports bets, take your profit. Find out how at PropSwap.com. Jeff Nadu is our betting insider. He knows all. He knows everything. Not about betting. Not just about betting. He knows a lot about a ton. You can just throw – this guy's a wealth of information. I just love how you can throw a random question, which we're going to start making that a new part of this conversation segment. I'm just going to throw Jeff a random question, and he will probably answer it better than most people would if they studied the question. Wouldn't you, Jeff?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty well-rounded with knowledge. So, yeah.
You're one of them guys that, like, people will ask you a question, and, you know, you don't have to take a lot of time. Like, I don't have, like, a top 5 list in my head of stuff, but, like, some people just, this is my top 5 movie, TV, this, that. You have that stored.
Well, I'm a weird cat, man. I read a lot, watch a lot of things, and, yeah, I have a well-rounded knowledge base, I guess.
I like it. So we will fire some random question at you that I will think of by the time this conversation is all said and done here. All right. I can't wait. I love the conference tournaments. They are coming up next week. Then the NCAAs. We've got the Selection Sunday and then the big dance, which you can hear all right here on 97.3 ESPN. But we've got an interesting little card tonight. By the way, I want to get your thoughts on Baylor, West Virginia, getting a 5 o'clock tip time.
Yeah, you know, there was a tip earlier today. I didn't understand. It was like some random West Coast game at 10 a.m. local time. But yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, you know, you're going to see a lot more of it.
Not good for me.
Well, it's not good for you. That's right. You're a West Virginia fan. It's not good for you. But I guess, you know, you're going to have to see more of this. You know, with the conference tournaments getting going, you're going to see basketball basically from 12 noon all the way to midnight. So, you know, with some of the West Coast conferences and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's kind of the aura of Mike. Let me ask you, don't complain, Mike, because we didn't get this last year. A lot of this, so don't jinx it, will you?
I got the
please?
number 3 team in the country playing the number 6 team, and they're putting it on at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
I hear you. It is a weird time. I would make it like 6 is probably better. I'm not sure why it's at 5. That's a weird one.
I think this is a makeup game from a COVID loss game, and they're playing the game. So I get it. I'm not complaining about them getting it in, but if you're going to play it, why play it at 5? Play it at 8.
Again, it's not like these places have something to do later in the night, these arenas or anything. So I'm not really sure why you couldn't do it at 7. But
we agree. All right, give me thoughts on this. This is all right. These are the games that are up your alley. We like to kind of like throw some under the radar stuff out at you. Detroit Mercy is playing Northern Kentucky. Opened as a pick. It's up to 1.5 now in Northern Kentucky's favor.
Yeah, Detroit Mercy. And, you know, Mike, these are kind of the games where I think you always have to put your attention, exert your attention into some of these. Well, I'm sure we'll get into some of the bigger boys, but these are where the money is. And this is the Horizon League tournament. This is the second round. Detroit Mercy actually opened as a dog in this game. They were quickly bet up and are now a favorite, as you alluded to. Detroit Mercy is being hit by sharp action. I like Detroit Mercy in this game. I think they're the better basketball team. They have a kid, Mike, Antoine Davis. He arguably could be the best scorer in America. He's the son of the coach, Mike Davis. Kid dropped 45 in the first game in this Horizon League tournament. You know, Mike, if you know anything about Detroit, which I'm sure most of the listeners don't, the only thing they know about Detroit is that former Sixer Willie Green went there many years ago. Detroit is really good at busting up zones. Northern Kentucky run a zone at you. They really want to kind of not allow you to get into the teeth of the defense. But this is a Detroit Mercy team that shoots the lights out of the ball, 40% on the season, top 15 in the country. I look at this matchup and I say this should be a matchup that Detroit Mercy can beat up a little bit. Northern Kentucky's been off for about 12 days, not for COVID, just with the season ending. They had a bye, so I don't know how ready to go they're going to be. I like Detroit Mercy. I like Davis. I think he handles business tonight, and they move to the next round. I like Detroit Mercy here.
All right, that's a conference game, tournament game. Wisconsin and Purdue. Now, most people, if you're just hearing, you know, you're a college basketball fan, and I say Wisconsin, Purdue, you probably think Wisconsin's the better team. But Purdue is actually 23rd. Wisconsin's 25, and both of them I would assume are on the proverbial Maybe not on the bubble. They're both ranked teams, but 10-8. Wisconsin is not a normal Wisconsin team. And that game currently is opened at 3. Kind of interesting. 2.5 DraftKings, BetMGM 1.5, 2 at Sugar House. So it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, these are both tournament teams, one of which is Wisconsin, who's really limping into the NCAA tournament. It's been a tough year for them. The offense has really kind of eluded them. They have guys that they just haven't really been themselves this year. They're an old team. Mike, I saw that their roster is actually older than the current Chicago Bulls roster.
Yeah.
So, it just goes to show you how old these kids are. But they've had some tough goes of it. And this is a tough matchup in West Lafayette. That's a tough place to go play. Purdue's only lost one game there this year, and that was to Michigan. We know how good they are. This is an exploitation for Purdue. I think they can exploit the bigs for Wisconsin. They've really struggled. I think they have a real issue in guarding Trevion Williams, the best player for Purdue. And, there's just not a lot of outlets right now for consistent offense for Wisconsin. Purdue has really turned up the Jets defensively. And Purdue playing for something here, Mike. If they win their final 2 games, they're actually going to get a double bye in the Big Ten tournament. So I think this is a game that means something to them. I think at home, they're going to be ready to go. And they're playing hot right now. They've won 4 of 5. I like the Boilers here at home. I think it's a good matchup for them.
All right, Purdue is the pick from Jeff Nadu. Let's stay in the Big Ten. Illinois, fun team. Michigan, right now, there's a prop swap ticket. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the guy's got like $20,000 on, people are bidding on this ticket right now because he got them way back in December. Well, now they're the number 2 team in the country, and that ticket looks very valuable. They started out tonight, though, an 8.5-point favorite. It's down to 6.5, Illinois, Michigan.
Yeah, this looks like there's some foreshadowing going on. Illinois has been without their best player, DeSumo, who, outside of Luka Garza, is probably the best player in the country right now.
Well, he's going to play tonight with a mask, correct?
I believe so, and it looks like he's going to go, which, that line moves 2 points. It's not because of just a ton of sharp action. It's, bookmakers or bettors thought this number was too high. They got some info that DeSumo was in. There was also a picture floating around from Illinois' basketball account on Twitter that he was taking shots this morning. So, I still think there's going to be a bit of an issue, though. I mean, how does he play with the mask? If you remember last year or 2 years ago, Joel Embiid played with a mask. It took some time to get used to it for him, and I think with DeSumo, he'll be a factor. If you can have him in there, it's huge. But I think if this is at 6.5, I still think Michigan gets the job done. I think, frankly, Mike, with Sumu healthy, if this were 6.5, I would still probably take Michigan. I think they can really exploit certain matchups. I think Dickinson can handle Coburn. Coburn's a guy that if he's not like against Wisconsin, he'll dominate a team like that. But we saw on Sunday, Dickinson can handle a Luka Garza. He can handle everyone. And I don't know if they have answers on the wing for certain players like Wagner and Livers. So, yeah, at home, Michigan, they're not a team I would want to step in front of right now. I think, Mike, you can make the case right now they're the best team in the country. Gonzaga hasn't played anyone in weeks. I think when it's all said and done, Gonzaga will be the number 1 overall seed, my pick to win the tournament. But I think Michigan is playing some incredible basketball right now. It's truly incredible.
And Michigan and Illinois, the top 2 teams in the Big Ten. Is the Big Ten for you the best conference in America?
Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, the Big 12 is very good, but like the Big East is down this year a lot. The ACC is a complete mess. The SEC, don't sleep on the SEC. The SEC is very good. It's got a lot of parity this year, a lot of good teams there. But yeah, I think the Big 10 is, definitely on top. I'll tell you another conference. I mean, the Mountain West has been a very good conference. There's been 4 or 5 really good teams in that conference. But yeah, at the top level, it's surely the Big Ten.
All right, you mentioned SEC, so let's go there. The Iron Bowl, Alabama and Auburn. In basketball, a little different than football. It opened at 11. Bama's a favorite. They are 11 across the board. Unless you are using BetMGM, you can get it at 10.5.
Yeah, this was a completely wild game the first time they played, 94-90. It was back and forth. A lot of these teams in the SEC play very similar, Mike. It's downhill, guard-oriented basketball. It's to get up and down as fast as possible, threes instead of twos, all that sort of thing. And that was evident in the first game. The problem that Auburn has here, that was the first game they had Sharif Cooper. And Sharif Cooper was huge. He had 26 points. 9 assists. He was incredible. He's not going to play tonight. Sharif Cooper was integral to what Auburn's doing. If you know anything, he was actually he was not eligible to play, and then he became eligible, and now he's hurt. So Auburn's a weird team because, like, I thought they were going to get run out of the building by Tennessee, and they ended up beating Tennessee on Saturday. So, yeah, that just kind of shows you how good a coach Bruce Pearl is. I think Alabama gets kind of the best of them here. I would lean more towards like an Alabama team total over or kind of isolate Alabama in the first half maybe. This is a pretty high number, but should be an up and down affair. And I think Alabama will probably get whatever they want offensively. Auburn has been dreadful recently against really good offenses. So I think it's open season for Alabama offensively, but I don't really trust Alabama on that end either. So I would maybe look towards Alabama scoring a lot of points. And those are useful bets late in the season, Mike. Isolating offenses, not worrying about whether they cover or not. Just can they score a certain amount of points, especially if I like that offense against an opposing defense.
All right, Jeff Nadu's with us at Jeff Nadu. Follow him there. Get his plays. You can ask him questions, watch his videos, consume his stuff. You can always figure out and find where he is. Tonight's best bets, he likes Purdue, Michigan, Bama, Detroit, Mercy. That Bama game, team total or first half lean. So there you go. All right, a question for you, Jeff Nadu. It is that time of the year. The water ice establishments are now reopening. So who has the best water ice in the city?
Pops. Watts in Oregon. That's my old block, actually, Mike. I lived on 2600 Watts for a long time. Italiano's is very good on 12th and Shunk. John's on Christian Street's very good. I stick to those, but Pops is my main go-to because literally, Mike, I go out, when I lived on that block, right outside of my door, I'm on my step. It's literally 10 feet away. So.
I love a place that's name is just the guy's first name. That's it.
Well, you can't go wrong with places like that. And, places like John's or Pops or Italiana's, like they're all just seasonal places.
Yeah.
There's nothing better, Mike. I've said this before. Like when you start around the end of March, early April, you're starting to get a little warmer weather. You feel that first warm sun hit your body. You go over, get a water ice, double park, get a water ice, maybe a pretzel. Maybe you're heading down to the shore or something. Those are the days, man. So,
well, they're back. That's what I'm saying. The warm, like it's not warm out today, but the sun is out. It's nice and shiny and blue. It's no more rain. I said, give me you're like that first day of Rita's when they reopen, but it's not like a Rita's. You're going to Pops.
I'm a water ice guy because growing up, Mike, I've told you before, I spent my every summer at Ocean City and Margate and all these different places. And many years ago, my family, we had a neighbor, he's still friends to this day. They come up and they're dear friends of ours. One of the patriarch of the family, Anthony, he actually runs water ice in Ocean City. It's called Anthony's Water Ice. He does a lot of up and down the Ocean City corridor. So I've always been a big water ice guy. He used to give us buckets of water ice to take home in the summer, the spring, the fall, the winter. So I'm a big water ice guy.
Yeah, me too. Well, I grew up in Ventnor, and on every corner there's either a liquor store, and whenever there's not a liquor store, there's a water ice place.
I mean, you remember them guys, and they still do it. There's guys that I know in Ocean City on like second and Atlantic, second and Corinthian, right at the boardwalk. There's a place called Brown's. I remember used to going up there and, summer days on the beach, we would go up there and get, you stand in line, get your water ice on the beach. It's that's the best life has to offer, in my opinion.
Well, I know the calendar is March, water ice, and I know, like I said, I could just throw a random question and you'll give me a legit answer. I mean, Pops. He throws Pops at us out there. All right, Jeff's back on Saturday. We'll have a further look at the weekend card. Get those plays in tonight. Do it responsibly, and don't be mad if he gets one wrong, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually coming out of one of the worst runs of my life. So, I did some good things last night. So hopefully that's par for the course, and we keep doing it.
All right, at Jeff Nadu. Follow him on Twitter. All right, Jeff, we'll talk to you Sunday, man.
All right, Mike. Thanks, buddy.
And he, like August, appeared via the Boardwalk Honda hotline. He'll be back on Sunday's show. And don't forget, Prop Swap, our guys over at Prop Swap, they help bring Jeff Nadu to the show each and every week. Here, PropSwap.com.